Dave Bird, you know him as Lil Dicky, is here in the studio with us once again. He's back.
Hello.
Well, how was it? 6 months? How many months ago were we here talking about Earth, the video you did with all the big artists?
It was definitely last year.
Was it last year? Was it a year ago already?
Almost.
Yeah, it was like
Was
probably,
it
probably
like
like 11 months,
Earth
10, 11
Day
months.
a year ago.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. We were talking about Ariana Grande and Ed Sheeran, all the different artists he got together for that.
Oh, that video was amazing.
Thank you.
So, Dave, you now have a sitcom.
Yeah.
Did that transpire since Earth came out?
It was in the works before that.
It was.
Yeah.
And this was a childhood, lifelong dream.
This is the dream.
To have your own sitcom, kind
Yeah.
of based on your life.
My life. I just happen to be, very fortunate that I have an incredibly entertaining life. I'm a rapper. So
That's it. There's the punchline right
yeah.
there.
So and I've always wanted to be a comedian my whole life. And when it came down to the time where, even if I was like a plumber and I was like working that job, I would have been thinking, how can I be a sitcom? And fortunately for me, at the time where I was ready to make this show, they say write what you know, and I didn't want to look any further than my own life because my own life is so funny.
And what I love about the beginning of all of this is I remember saving up money from mowing lawns to buy a radio mixer at Radio Shack, and that mixer was going to be my DJ career.
Yeah.
Like that I had to have. I had to have headphones and a mixer.
Yeah.
And I just knew the second I could go to the mall and buy it, I was going to do it. And you had a similar thing happen to you with early funding.
Yeah. I didn't have to mow lawns. I just had a bar mitzvah.
I was Southern Methodist, so that didn't happen for me.
I was lucky.
But what happened with that?
No, so I always wanted to be a comedian. I thought, how can I get noticed for being funny? I don't know anybody in the entire entertainment industry. And I wanted to do something different because it's everyone's trying to break in the same kind of ways. I thought, how can I differentiate myself?
Yeah.
And I've always loved rapping, and it was always a way better rapper than my friends. I never was oh, you're destined to be one of the greatest rappers.
Right.
But it was this is something that I can do at a level that probably is very above average, and this is inherently a unique, different way to get noticed for being funny. And if I tried to film little low end DIY comedy scenes, they would have sucked. You know what I mean? Because you notice when it looks bad. But music videos, they're so inherently kind of gritty and bad in the first place. You know what I mean? That it's good. Yeah. So I just thought this was a good way in. And then as I began rapping, I just got better and better at rapping to the point where, I truly in my heart feel as though I'm one of the best rappers alive.
The greatest lyricist in the world.
greatest.
Now you've turned this into what looks to be an irreverent and very funny sitcom, which is a new show called Dave, Wednesday nights, 10/9 Central on FXX. What does the rap world think of this guy when he walks into a room or walks into a studio?
It's I can't even tell you how many times in the beginning of my career, I'd be on stage for sound check, and the sound guy would be like, "When is the rapper gonna get here?" I'd be like, "Dude, I'm waiting for. What are you talking about? I've been standing here for so long." And I think it's a lot of surprise, "Oh, you're Lil Dicky." I remember one time I did this autograph signing thing early in my career at Boston College or something, and where I just stood at a career. It was really bizarre, and I just I don't know what it was for their what's the word where the first week of school, what's the word?
Orientation. Yeah.
And so word got around that, oh, there's a rapper at this booth, and people started waiting in line. And they didn't know who I was, and I was with my friend Gata, who's a black guy with dreadlocks, and they would get to the front and they'd go up to him and put their arm around him and take the picture with him. So it's I think initially people, and I think it's actually good for me that people are I don't expect you to be a rapper, because it kind of adds to the.
Well, that's your niche.
Yeah.
Right? That's the hook.
Yeah.
And in a way, I guess there won't be anonymity anymore, but at the beginning, I guess there was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have worked with, and he was telling me this story that he met Kevin Hart. He was in Vegas at one of those pool parties. Was it a Tao Beach party? Or
yeah, I don't know the hotel. I forget. Yeah,
Nice.
one of those high end parties.
Right. He's at one of those parties, daytime.
Yeah.
And he's performing, and out of the crowd. I mean, people can jump out of the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
But out of the crowd jumps
Kevin Hart. So I idolize Kevin Hart. I'm from Philadelphia. I've always even before he was the biggest stand up ever. When he had that one line in 40-Year-Old Virgin, I was like, whoever that guy
That
is,
guy's gonna be
stole the movie. Yeah. And I have never met him, and I've always wanted to meet him. And I'm on stage and I'm performing, and I hear this roar in the crowd, and I think it's because I'm being dynamic. But it's not. It's because Kevin Hart walked on stage. And I turn and I see it, and all of a sudden I'm just so starstruck and interested in talking to this man, but I'm in the middle of a song. So I have to finish rapping, and then
Focus.
he stayed on for the whole set, and then we hung out afterwards and talked, and we stayed in touch, and then when I wanted to make a package for my show and get like producers involved, I really wanted to have people that I thought added actual value that weren't just names. And obviously, like, I admire him as a person, as a comedian, but like I also know he's got this whole company behind him called Heartbeat that like these people are sending me scripts and director reels, and like they're just very helpful. And I just for a guy who's never done any TV or acting or writing or anything, and I now have to do all of it at a level that I want to be like the highest ever, like the more resources I can get, the better.
Funny the story about how you were on stage going, wow, I hear the crowd. They must really like me. I remember at our last Jingle Ball, I walked out on stage to introduce the show. And as I walked out, I mean, I've hosted this thing for 20 years.
Yeah.
As I walked out, the crowd was going nuts. And I thought, wow, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then I looked over to the stage and realized they were presetting BTS.
Right.
So I understand
Yeah,
that
it's
feeling.
very similar.
And I, too, had to focus on what I had, the job at hand to introduce the show.
Absolutely.
Check it out. New show. Really funny. Dave Bird is starring in Dave, Wednesday nights, 10/9 Central. That is on FXX.
And the next day, it's on Hulu.
And then the next day, it's on Hulu streaming, right?
Yep.
Look forward to seeing you again soon, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.